Hello everybody and welcome back to TTL F1. You're watching TTTV and this is Season 12, Round number 3, which takes us to the Chinese Grand Prix. My name is Kieran McGinley. I'm on my own tonight unfortunately, but make no mistake, Chinese Grand Prix always delivers. It's always tyre wear is the issue when you're talking about these races. The track abrasion is very high and lots of high speed corners, which means you're asking a lot of the tyres, so it should be a pretty interesting race. It all becomes a bit interesting towards especially the race anyway. Obviously good to see everyone here. Steph saying hashtag let there be rain. Rain at the Chinese Grand Prix, it could happen. Definitely overcast conditions could be expected. Exactly, Steph saying in the chat the front left takes a heavy beating, and that is absolutely right. That front left tyre is going to be screaming in agony as we head into this race, but it's all about making sure you look after those tyres and look after them throughout the race. Really difficult to make a one-stop work here, especially if you're looking to take advantage of the softest tyres possible. I believe it is the super softs and the medium tyres we use at the Chinese Grand Prix. And those super softs don't last long at all, especially if you're going at them for a lap of the track, a very quick lap at that. So it should be very interesting. We'll have a look at the drivers' standings then. So Blizzard's win last time out means he is top of the table on 38 points. Squeezy's in second on 29. Jay in third on 25. Poe is in fourth on 18. Sean in fifth on 16 points after his fantastic podium and driver of the day performance last time out. Ollie is in sixth on 15. That's Ollie P, I should say. Clifford in seventh on 14. Siege in eighth on 12. Steph is in ninth on 10 points. The Gort is in 10th on 8 points, and then I have to scroll all the way through my phone. Alan K is 11th on 6 points. Lightinho and Plaster tied on 12th place with 2 points. Lambo and Damien tied 14th with 1 point apiece. We have a look at the constructors standings now, and Force India are top on 57 points. Then you've got McLaren in second on 31. Williams are in third on 28. Ferrari in fourth on 27. Haas are in fifth on 26. Red Bull in sixth on 15. Mercedes in seventh on 11 points. Sauber in eighth on 6 points. Toro Rosso with 1 point in ninth, and Renault at the bottom there, yet to score a point this season. And if we have a look at the race winners, well, we've had 2 winners so far. Squeezy won round number 1, and Blizzard won round number 2. And it's going to be interesting to see how Lambo reacts. He hasn't had the greatest 2 races in the world to start his title defence. He's only got 1 point out of a possible 50 in the first 2 races. Not a great start, especially when Blizzard right now over him has a 37 point lead. That's not what you want after 2 races, but Lambo has been in that situation before. We'll see how he can handle it. Obviously, as a champion, the pressure is on to really make those tyres work. I think I've been corrected. Is it Ultra Softs? Ultra Softs, okay. Oh yeah, that's right, it is Ultra Softs. Oh well, yeah, so the tyres will not last, as everyone's saying in the chats. Maisie saying 2 laps at best, Ultra Softs. Yeah, I would say that. Z3 saying hello Z3, hello to Spike as well in the chat. I'm looking forward to this one. Chinese Grand Prix, obviously that front left tyre is going to take a huge beating, and it's all about setting up the car to make sure you manage those tyres as best as possible. I always bring up the example of Kimi Räikkönen trying to be too greedy on those tyres in those days. I believe it was 2012, but those were the days when the Pirelli tyres had a clear cliff, and once they went off that cliff, you basically got no grip from them whatsoever. That's what happened to Kimi Räikkönen. He dropped all the way down the field. And I remember that like it was yesterday, because I really wanted him to do well in that Lotus, but never mind. Maybe those things aren't meant to be. So, only about a minute to go, hopefully, before already 17 drivers in the lobby. And let's have a look at some of the track stats then. So the Chinese Grand Prix, 16 corners technically around the Shanghai circuit. And it's well, it's a bit of an interesting one, the Chinese Grand Prix. It's designed to look like the Chinese symbol for Shang, meaning upwards. So having an entire track based around one Chinese symbol is pretty interesting, but it does provide a really interesting track, especially turns 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's a very awkward corner, especially into lap 1 from the start of the race, trying to find a line going through there. Remember the real life race in 2016 when Kvyat apparently came through like a torpedo and the inside of Sebastian Vettel, but well, you know, there was a gap there. But it causes mayhem half the time. Keeping it clean through turns 1, 2 and then into turn 3 is always going to be difficult, but get through that section, you've got a good chance of getting some good points. 2 DRS zones, one along the kilometre long back straight just after the looping corner of turn 13, and you've also got a second DRS zone across the start finish straight towards turn 1. And the detection zone is just on the entrance of turn 12 there. So if you can make a move or try and stay side by side and just about get the inside line, you can help yourself with a bit of DRS as well. It's not the greatest positioned DRS detection point in the world, but well, it has to be done. And then the second detection point is just before turn 16, and 16 to me isn't really an overtaking zone. It's not really a heavy enough braking zone, but I've been proven wrong before, and I'll happily be proven wrong again tonight. Hopefully the stream's all running and it's all healthy. Looks good on my end. Obviously, keep me up to date in the chat. How's your race going? Who do you want to win today? And well, it's very early on in the season, and I always keep forgetting it's a 21 race season now because of the French Grand Prix. But hey, what can you do? Preview to Thursday though, before we've even started tonight, is the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, which is well, we'll see how we get on that one. I always struggled at Baku. When I was racing in TTFL, I just about missed out on a medal in one of the Challenge Cups. But what are you going to do? Countdown has started then. We're ready to go into the Chinese Grand Prix, and we have 19 drivers today. Spike saying, just let me finish. Yes, Spike hasn't scored any points at all this season, so he'll be hoping to get some points on the board at least. So it's been a real tough start of the season for Lambo and for Spike, but they're both experienced drivers. And Spike was saying in the in commentator's corner on Thursday that he's not going to let it get to him too much because both retirements haven't been his fault. So he's confident going into the Chinese Grand Prix then, and May's saying he's going to finish 11th. Bit cheeky there, Mays, but never mind. Hopefully I'll get a weather report from you very, very shortly, because obviously I don't have the telemetry up here. There we go. What are you going to do? So as we wait for the lobby to begin then, and really waiting now to see if it's going to be a downpour or if it's going to be dry. Mace is apparently saying it's going to snow, so that'll provide some interesting racing there. I didn't know we had snow tyres bringing to with us this weekend, but yeah, all the drivers are picking their tyres now, which set they're going to bring, whether they're going to go a conservative or they're going to really go for it, attack, bring more ultra softs or bring more super softs. But there we go, dry qualifying then, 19 drivers in the lobby. Always great to see a good amount of drivers in the lobby. And yeah, I'm hoping that this Chinese Grand Prix is going to deliver some great battles today. And Mays has said it's dry for both. So no rain forecast for the Chinese Grand Prix, and some people will be delighted about that one, I think. So hopefully we're going to see some good racing throughout. And one to watch then is, let me find him, is Sean. A driver for the day last time out. He finished 3rd in the Bahrain Grand Prix last time out, so mightily impressive performance from him. As we see Sean there having to stop because a Sauber was coming out of the pit lane. I've never seen that one before, but there we go. So as the cars head out then for their outlap, and as you can see on the Williams there, that is Sean on the medium tyres. So, well, a lot of drivers going onto the medium tyres, it seems. The car ahead is on one as well. I believe that is Alan Kay is on the medium tyres. So, interesting call from everybody so far. let's have a look at the tyres then. You can see ultra softs and mediums. I believe the other tyre is no, I'm not going to guess the middle tyre because I'll be wrong. But as you can see, only the softest tyre possible and the hardest tyre possible so far. So a real mix of strategy going on here. No one playing it down the middle. Everyone's either going aggressive or going to play it conservative. We're riding on board with Blizzard then as he heads towards turn 11 and then turn 12. The DRS detection point is just that line there, and as you can see, turn 13 is always a difficult corner. You have to sort of make sure the car sticks to the road, but it's also going to hurt those front left tyres. And as you can see, Blizzard just trying to get some heat into those brakes and those tyres by doing some braking along this massive straight here. Expect the overtakes to happen going down into the hairpin in towards turn 14. This is a huge action zone, and you could even see 2 or 3 cars wide into the last corner there. But as Blizzard, you can see, we're going to be riding on board then with the championship leader as he makes his way around the final corner, just getting a little bit wide on the exit there as we now head up towards turn 1. You can see now, got to look out for that curve on the left hand side, turn in, the car will stick. You've got to go down through the gears, go wide, sacrifice your exit of turn 2 to get the entry into towards turn 3 there. Watch the exit on turn 4. It's very easy to spin the wheels up as you now head through the slight kink of 5 here and in towards turn 6. Another action zone here. Brake just after the 100 metres board. And you're looking at second gear. Watch the exit then again. Wheel spin is crucial around the circuit. You don't want too much. And then you've got this flowing left into right-hander of turns 7 and then turn 8. You can see there Blizzard losing that back end just very, very slightly then as we head towards turn 9. Be careful with the curve on the outside here. It can unsettle the car as you head in towards turn 10. And now use that curve on the outside as you head towards turn 11 now. Heavy braking zone into a 90-degree left-hander. Locking up slightly on the front left there. Shouldn't be too bad for Blizzard then as we head through turn 12, through this sweeping corner of turn 13. You've always got to be patient with the throttle here, especially if you've got race fuel on board. And now down the long back straight then as we head into the DRS zone. DRS turned on by Blizzard. Of course, the Force India has the DRS button on the back of the steering wheel as we now head towards the heavy braking zone. Brake at the 100 metre board and try and turn in the car. You're braking from all that speed, just over 300 kilometres an hour to about 80 kilometres an hour. Braking forces there as Blizzard skips the final corner and crashes out. Well, Blizzard misjudged the pit entrance there. Well, it's not quite binning it into a gravel trap, but I don't think that's going to look too good for him. So Blizzard then out of qualifying. I don't think he'll want me to show that car there in the pit lane, but well, caught that one. Didn't think that was going to happen. Anyway, Sean goes top of the table, 133.6. Alan Kay goes 135.1. Ollie has got a 5-place grid penalty for collision with Francis there. And Francis is spinning, or has spun, the wrong way round. So something's happened through turn 13 there, and you can see that Ollie was on the side there. So Ollie's been given that 5-place grid penalty. So, well, not entirely sure what happened, but there we go. The Gort now heading towards the line, and he puts in a 134.7. Steph putting in a 134.1 and puts himself in second place. Josh then on the medium tyre sets a 132.3, bettered by Blaster then 132.1 on a set of ultra soft tyres. So provisional pole for the Ferrari of Plaster then. Francis then coming into the pits, running very wide in the pit entrance there as he heads towards the pit lane. May's yet to join the track, but obviously he has his strategy to try and leave his stints as late as possible. Poe then on the exit of turn 14 through the kink of 15 and now coming towards turn 16. In fact, forget that. He dives straight into the pit lane, but this time, or at least he, keeps it out of that left-hand side wall. We've got Jay there who's already set a lap, but that lap was invalidated, so he's going to have to go around again. At the moment, though, I don't think there's anybody on a flying lap. I could be wrong, though. Ollie is on battery mode 0. Sean is on another lap, but he didn't quite get the opportunity there. I think he took a breather lap and is now on a charge to try and set another lap. Then Josh then 132.3 on a set of medium tyres. Impressive lap time from him. But if Plaster sets that 132.1, it throws a wrench into his plans. Jay then in overtake mode rather than hot lap mode in his ERS battery as we head towards turns 12 and 13. Sean there putting up to P3, 133.6. De Gort then responding, 133.2. He puts himself now up onto the second row of the grid, provisionally of course, and we've got Clifford there who is on an outlap in the Force India. And Force India at the moment top of the constructor standings, so they'll be hoping to keep on with this point scoring run, and Clifford here has a real chance of getting a constructors championship under his belt. He's got to be a consistent point scorer though, and he'll be working hard on getting those crucial points that Force India need. We've got yellow flags in sector 1, not entirely sure who that could be, but we've got Squeezy out there on an outlap, and Squeezy second in the championship right now as he now makes way and uses a bit of the infield track there. Not entirely sure that's part of the track, but well, it's not really affecting his flying lap too much, so that's not a problem then. We've also got Poe out there as well, and Poe will be hoping to take the championship hunt right to the wire once again. But at the moment, if we have a look at the driver standings, he's 4th place on 18 points, so he's not too far behind then. 20 points, could be worse, could be 37 points behind the championship leader, so not the end of the world. So we'll have to wait and see what he can do then. Lambo, who's only scored 1 point this season so far, runs wide on the exit or turn 12, so he's really struggling this season so far, and you just want a clean race and score some good points. Maybe a podium might help him along his way then. Squeezy heading down to the hairpin here. Of course, Squeezy caught up in quite a few instances last season, and he'll be hoping that he can have a good season. He was a top 4 challenger all the way through that season last time out, but he's on a flying lap now. We'll see what he can do. Yellow flags in sector 1, and that is Plaster there, with also Jay. So is Jay on an outlap? Yes, he is, as the game tells me there. So Squeezy here has got a bit of traffic to deal with, but he negotiates it pretty well then, as he makes his way through turn 5 and on his way down towards turn 6, as Jay just gets well out of the way then. And that yellow flag was for Jay then, as he tries to get out of the way. We're now flying through turn 7 and then through turn 8. Of course, China and Malaysia used to be side by side back in the day, so that flowing section, you just felt like you were just doing it twice in a row in a weekend. So it was either side of the calendar. Now we've lost the Malaysian Grand Prix, of course. A huge shame, that one. But the Chinese Grand Prix looks like it is here to stay. And here comes Squeezy around turn 13. Clifford there, up into P3 at the moment on a 132.4. And Squeezy coming down the long back straight. Then we'll jump with Poe now, as he's at the end of that long straight coming into the hairpin. What can he make with his medium tyres, the hardest possible tyre? And qualifying has become more and more strategic as the seasons have gone by, especially in this new game. And Poe goes top of the table, 132.0 on a set of medium tyres then. Jay out there, Lambo also making his way towards the line. Can he put himself up the order? He can. He goes up into P3. So Squeezy there, I was just looking for where he was. He's got it into 5th at the moment, 132.4. So the top guys are very close together at the moment. Yellow flags in sector 3. And Francis is off. Francis is doing a bit of off-roading. But has he got damage to that front wing, I wonder? And I think he's gone into the menu, has he? We've got yellow flags in all 3 sectors right now, as he makes his way back onto the track then, revving the engine as hard as he possibly can. So yeah, he's not happy. That front wing is gone completely, so he is not happy. Interesting here, Ollie is on those ultra soft tyres. I think he's doing a little bit of testing here. He's trying to test to see how long he can make these tyres last in quali. So you've got the time to do it, especially with those ultra soft tyres. And you can see he's doing his race simulation right now, because he hasn't opened his DRS. He's just trying to get comfortable with those tyres that he could be using for the start of the race. That's a bold move then, to say the least, because if he doesn't set a faster lap, then it's 1:34.1 on a new set of tyres, then he has to start on these tyres. And 10th slower, so he's just about keeping under Delta at the moment. So interesting from Ollie then. He's done 5 laps on those tyres, and that's around about coming towards the end of their life, and 5 laps in. So interesting to see how they do then. Jay then goes 7th on the 1:32.9 on those medium tyres. Josh, meanwhile, is ready to go out on a set of soft tyres. Sean, meanwhile, on Ultra Softs is in a 1:33.6. He's on Ultra Softs. He did set that time on mediums. You can see here, 9 of the top 10 have set their fastest lap on a set of medium tyres. So who's going to be one to take the risk then? Who's going to be one to try the soft tyre? I think it might be Josh. You never know though. We'll have to wait and see how that all plans out. But Alan Kay is going to go for a set of soft tyres as well, as Francis makes his way back to the pits. Now luckily for him then, he'll be able to change his front wing pretty easily, and he'll be able to get out there pretty quick, as Siege comes out on a set of medium tyres. Spike is also out there. He'll just want to finish a race. That's what he said in the chat. That's what he said last time out in Commentator's Corner, which of course is available after the stream, on a separate stream straight after the Chinese Grand Prix. Running on board then as we head through turn 12 and then through turn 13. Pretty good grip there through turn 13 for Spike, able to keep his foot on the throttle with those soft tyres, and as you can see, warming up those tyres, trying to get some heat into them to make sure they're at optimum temperature. Didn't open his DRS there, but you can see gaining a good bit of speed there, 317 kph coming down the long straight there. Good straight line speed. That's around about 207, round about. I'm not actually sure. I think it's just shy of 200, I think. But Spike then on a flying lap on soft tyres, and as you can see, everyone now is starting to see the light. They're all trying to go onto some soft tyres, trying to keep their cards close to their chest, as Alan Kay has gone up to P8 right now with a 133.17. I don't know why I said 7, that was a bit odd of me. Mays is out on track, and he is on a set of ultra soft tyres. Clifford, meanwhile, has retired. We've got yellow flags coming up. I wonder if we can see what's happened. And he's pulled to the side there. Is that a car on the right hand side? It is, but that's not Clifford. That is in fact Alan Kay. So Mays then turning in. He's got a brand new lid, it looks like, for this one. The Chinese Grand Prix, black and yellow to match his Renault livery. So very nice there, looking good as he makes his way down this crest here and towards the start finish line to start a new flying lap. Spike, meanwhile, has got to come down this long straight now. And where will he end up, I wonder? He'll want to have a good qualifying session. He's on a set of soft tyres, and he'll be wanting a very good result. He's coming up around turn 15 now. That slight kink of a right-hander, and then towards turn 16 as he heads his way towards the start-finish line. What can he do? And it's a 1:35.4, puts him P13 right now. I wonder if he's going to go again on the same set of tyres. It's doable for sure, but he's going to find it difficult, especially if he has to start on those tyres. We're going to have a look at Mays then, who is on the ultra soft tyres. He's making his way around turns 12 and 13 now, and now he's going to make his way along the long straight then. He's got plenty of deployment left to use, and he's going to use it down this long straight. Not a bad idea, that, to get the maximum speed possible. And as you can see, 327, 328. Can he reach 330? Yes, he can. Just before the braking zone, into the hairpin he goes of turn 14. Now through the slight kink of 15, heading his way towards the left-hander of turn 16. Chuck the car in and hope it sticks, using that curb on the right-hand side. And as he heads towards the line, it's a 1:32.7, and it puts him up into P8. Now remember, he is on those ultra soft tyres. That's what he set his best lap on so far. 2 minutes to go in this qualifying session. At the moment, Poe is on provisional pole with Plaster in second. The Gore has jumped up to third place there. Lambo in fourth, Josh in fifth, Squeezy in sixth, Clifford in seventh, Mays in eighth, Jay is in ninth, Alan K 10th, Steph in 11th, Sean in 12th, Ollie P in 13th, Spike was 14th, now 15th. That's Lightinho going up to P4 then, so good luck from him on the soft tyres. Puts him onto the second row of the grid. Spike, meanwhile, is not having a great day. He's got one more chance here. He saved his ERS battery, saved his fuel, saved his tyres to have one more go. So here he goes then. On to a new flying lap. Francis is in the pits. He will not be able to make it out for another lap. Siege, meanwhile, is looking to try and set a lap on some medium tyres. Now, they do take some time to warm up, those medium tyres, if you don't do it properly. So, running it fine here, running a fine line. And so Plaster and the Gort are in the pits, so they will be not be able to set a new lap time. Jay has retired from the session. He will finish no higher than P10 right now. Poe on provisional pole at the moment. I almost made a pun about on pole position, but there we go. My puns have seen better days. Here comes Poe then, coming towards turns 12 and 13. And as we turn the car in towards turn 11, then through turn 12, and then through that right-hander of turn 13, as that's Siege moving up to P9 there on those medium tyres. I wonder if he's going to go for another lap. So here we are then with Poe, DRS wide open. I'll have to check, see who else is on a flying lap. Lightinho comes in, Sean pulls off to the side as Ollie goes top on a set of ultra soft tyres, 131.3. Sending a message out then, he wants pole position, he wants track position. So Poe then coming around the final corner. We'll have to wait and see what he can do then. Can he grab pole position? He's got quite a bit of time to find, and he can! 131.189 on soft tyres. Good lap from Poe then, and he's on provisional pole position. Josh and Lambo on the same straight. Squeezy as well on that straight. What can Lambo do, I wonder, as he's making his way round the final couple of corners? He just dropped to P12, by the way, after setting that good lap time. Here comes Lambo towards the line, and he's got pole position for now. He's set down a marker. What can Josh do? He goes top now. What about Squeezy? Can he make a hat-trick? Can he now grab pole position? No, he can't. It's only P6. And I think that is qualifying all done and dusted, as Siege here, actually he is on a flying lap, but he's 1.3 seconds down, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see him come back into the pits. Ollie on an in lap, so he set his lap time. He'll be starting from P4, it looks like. Alan K actually is on a lap on some ultra soft tyres. So can he improve on P16 then as he makes his way around the final corner, or will he go straight on? No, he'll continue his lap as he makes his way around the final corner towards the start-finish line. What can he do? It's a 132.5, and it puts him into P12. So he'll be able to have free range of tyre for the race then. And so it looks like, with qualifying completed then, as Ollie makes his way back to the pits. So pole position then goes to Josh. Lambo in P2. And look at that top three, by the way. Top three separated by less than a tenth of a second. And if that's not a great indication of how the race is going to go down, I don't know what is. Josh, though, grabs pole position for the Chinese Grand Prix. We'll have the results of qualifying then, hopefully very, very shortly. Just wait for everyone to get through. And there it is. Josh is on pole position by 0.003 of a second from Lambo. Poe is in third by 1/100th, or 2/100th if you're going to be picky. Ollie in P4, Spike in 5th, Squeezy 6th, Plaster in 7th. Great qualifying from him. The Gore in 8th, Lightinho in 9th, Sean in 10th, Clifford in 11th, Alan K 12th, Siege is in 13th, Mays 14th, Jay 15th, Steph is in 16th, Blizzard, of course, crashing out of qualifying. He's starting from P17, and Francis is down there in P18. TTG Ollie is in P19. So then, as we wait for the race then, who's going to put it on pole position? as we wait. And then, oh, who's going to put it on pole position? We just found that out. I'm losing the plot. I really am. But who do you think is going to take the race win then? Josh setting a good lap time there. 0.003 of a second faster than Lambo. Fine margins in this one. So I wonder who is going to grab it. Who's going to take pole position? Why do I keep saying that? Taxi. Take me home. I've done enough for the day, apparently. Oh well. Well, here we go then for the formation lap. So Josh pulls away and will lead the field around for their formation lap. And we will be able to see, obviously the top 10 have to start on the tyres they qualified on. So everyone outside the top 10 then. Clifford is P11. And he's starting on soft tyres. Alan Kay is starting on mediums. Siege is starting on softs. Mays are also on softs, as is Jay on the soft tyres. Steph starting on mediums. Blizzard going for the long term on medium tyres. Ollie is looking for those medium tyres. And Francis going for soft tyres. So real mixed bag, but no one outside the top 10 on the ultra soft tyres. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how they can do. As long as they keep their clean front wings, or keep their front wings intact, then they should be able to have a pretty decent race. We've got Ollie there in P4 on ultra softs, as is Plaster on ultra softs. He's in P7. Now watch out for those two. They are going to start struggling in the race. Their tyre wear is going to be well, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they get on, because, well, they've set one flying lap on the tyre, so that involves an out lap and a flying lap at least. So their tyres are probably only going to last around 5-6 laps into this race, and taking a set of medium tyres all the way to the end of the race at that point, that's going to be proved to be very, very difficult. We saw Ollie P do 5 laps on ultra soft tyres in qualifying. And of course these tyres have been through a heat cycle, and they've been through a flying lap, an out lap as well. So I'm going to say it's going to be pretty interesting to see how everything goes on in this race, as we look on board then as the cars make their way towards the grid then for the Chinese Grand Prix. TTL F1 is brought to you by weakwifi-solutions.com. Use them to hopefully get your internet back in working order and good enough for league racing. It's also brought to you by fatalgrips.com. Use the code TTL F1 at the checkout for a 10% discount across your entire order. We're almost ready to go here for the Chinese Grand Prix as we wait for the last driver to make his way to the grid. I believe that's TTG Ollie making his way to the grid then. We're moments away from the Chinese Grand Prix. So the tension rises. Turns 1 and 2 could be a bit of a nightmare as we head towards this Chinese Grand Prix. But as we wait for the 5 red lights to come on. And here they come. The countdown to the Chinese Grand Prix is on. Round 3 is underway, and what are the starts like? Have a look at the cars as they head towards turn 1. Then Lambo's got a good start on Josh then. He'll have the inside line going in towards turn 1. Look out for Ollie as well on the ultra soft tyres. He's got an inside line. We've got cars off in the background. Who's that? That's Stefan Francis off as well, as Ollie's gone round as well. Chaotic start, and Ollie's been turned around, so good from him. Lambo has, Latino, sorry, in P10. Oh, that's a Ferrari who's just gone off there. Blizzard, Plaster, sorry, just about keeping it under control. Then here comes Sean trying to go down the inside in towards turn 6, and somehow got away with that one. Jay's got himself a 5-second stop go for a collision with May, so that's going to have to be served at his pit stop. Meanwhile, though, look at these 3 cars trying to battle it out. This is Lambo, Squeezy, and Josh then, as we head towards turns 11 and 12. Lambo looks like he's got the inside line, and has he got the position then as he head through? And Lambo, just about kept the car under control then. Squeezy had to run wide there, and a lot of other cars in the background as well. Here comes Josh up the inside. Has he got the position? No, Lambo's just about held on as they try and make it 2 and 3 wide around, coming towards turn 13. And down this straight here, you can't really see a lot, but look at how many cars are still all together then, as that's a Ferrari going quite wide and lost it. That's Plaster who's just about kept it in check. So a bit of a scary moment for him then, as we're trying to go 4 wide down in towards the hairpin. Surely this is not going to end well. As we look to see, the Renault's been forced all the way to the outside. 5 wide is it going to be as we head through towards turn 16. How they all made it through, I have no idea. So that is credit to them, going 4 wide. That was incredible. I don't know how they all made it. Lap 2 then of the Chinese Grand Prix. Ollie leads from Josh, and then Squeezy, who's trying to make a move up the inside as we head now in towards turn 2. He's still got the inside line. It'll become the outside line for turn 3 if he's got to shut the door. And Poe trying to go around the outside now. Sorry, I said it was Squeezy. It's actually Poe. I'm looking at the graphics all wrong. Josh just about holds on to that position from Poe. Lambo P5, and Poe looks like he's going to try and move down the inside as he in towards turn 6. He's got the inside line then. Can he get the traction down? Can he get the wheel spin under control? No, he can't, and has to stay behind Josh then. Lambo looking on, licking his lips here, looking for a position. We've also got Sean and Siege here. Siege in 10th place on those medium tyres, and looking to try and get past his teammate here. Mays in P13 at the moment, looking to try and go around the outside. He was involved in a collision earlier on in the race, but we won't see the full vision of that. Here we go with Blizzard then in P11 at the moment. He is trying to make his way from the, well, pretty much the back of the grid. It wasn't exactly last place, but it was from the back of the grid, as he now makes his way down this long back straight. That's a Ferrari off again. Oh, he's taken off someone off. That's Jay. Jay and someone else got taken off there. It was Mays. Jay just lost it on the curb there and lost the back end, went into Mays, and Mays will be feeling pretty downhearted about that. But Jay just lost the back end. Nothing he could do. It was just a passenger, and he is out of the race then. And unlucky for him then, as we now head on to lap 3 of the Chinese Grand Prix. Ollie still leads then. Squeezy is in 2nd, Josh in 3rd, Poe in 4th, Lambo 5th, The Gort in 6th, Spike 7th, Latino 8th, Sean in 9th, as Blizzard is in 10th, as Josh tried to find a way up the inside there. Wasn't going to happen, as Squeezy had just about closed the door, so not happening there, as we see Spike here wanting to get some good points, wanting to just finish a race. Currently in 7th place, trying to chase down the Gorts. We head towards turn 6. Meanwhile, up ahead, you can see Poe and Josh fighting for position here as we now head towards turn 6 and turn 7. And you can see that Poe just backing out of the move there. Didn't want to make that move happen. Knew that if he wanted to go down the inside, it just wasn't going to happen. And all these cars are pretty close together at the moment, so it's good to see. But you can see now Poe is really trying to get onto the back of Josh here. You can see that. Blizzard, meanwhile, still in P10, having to do a lot of work. And this is one of those races where you can just try and take advantage of the championship leader being down. This is all those races that counts. Those recovery drives really come into their own at this point. Here comes Blizzard then on Sean. He will have DRS on him. We've got yellow flags in Sector 1. But we've got riding on board with Blizzard then, as we're trying to make a move on Sean then, as we head down towards turn 14 and into that hairpin. Blizzard has the inside line and has got the move done, so he moves now up into P9, looking to try and recover as many positions as possible. Here we are with Lambo then, as Squeezy sets the fastest lap of the race. Lambo, is he going to try and make a move on the inside of Poe then, up in towards turn 1? No, he doesn't, and he just rather stays behind. And Alan Kay is out. Alan Kay is out of the race. I wonder if that's around the final corner, and it is. It's a Sauber into that wall on the right hand side as we looked at it. And well, it's not the first time that's happened. In real life that happened as well, of course, with Giovinazzi. Twice over the same weekend. So Alan Kay's lost it on the curb, I'm guessing. Here comes Blizzard down the inside of Latino into turn 6, and they're going to try and battle away then as we head towards turn 7 and turn 8. Blizzard's trying to go around the outside, then Latino's going to go up the inside. They make contact. Blizzard's around. Has he kept the car? Yes, he has. Oh, those tyres will be shot though. They'll be overheated. Oh, that could have been a lot worse. He's down to P13. Lots of heat into those tyres, but I'm wondering if he's got any damage to those tyres. Of course, he may not have too much damage, just a bit of overheating he's got to get rid of, but he's got to do all that hard work all over again. Not entirely sure if either of them have damage. I don't think Latino has damage, so he's able to carry on then. P8 at the moment. Clifford, meanwhile, Blizzard's teammate, is trying to chase down Siege. for a last points paying position. Here comes Josh up the inside of Ollie. Now Ollie is starting to struggle with these tyres. Squeezy, Josh have been closing in on him, and they've both made moves on him now. And Ollie is starting to fall down the field, and in fact he comes in on lap 4. Surely that's a 2-stop now for Ollie. And he may have got pole position with that lap on those tyres, but the problem is making these medium tyres last to the end of the race. That is not going to be easy at all. But in he comes into his box, and what tyres go on? Looks like soft tyres are going on to Ollie, so definite 2-stop then for Ollie. So we'll have to check, Ollie P that is, so we'll have to check how he does in the race. That means Squeezy takes the lead of the race from Josh, Poe, Lambo, the Gort, Spike, Latino, Sean, Siege and Clifford. That is your top 10 right now, and as you can see, Poe is right on the tail here of Josh as we head through towards turn 7 and then through turn 8. The two Williams then seem to be working together at the moment. Sean is staying ahead of Siege right now. Driver of the day last time out. Everybody was congratulating him after the race for his fantastic podium. Can he repeat something like that today then, as he's making his way through the field? As we see, actually Siege is actually being closed in by Clifford here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as it develops. Clifford in the Force India looking to try and close the gap and get some points on the board. Poe meanwhile is trying to close in on Josh, who's also trying to close in for the lead of the race then. As you can see there, Squeezy going very defensive, going towards turn 14. Who's going to have the better line going into the hairpin? Squeezy's going to have the inside line, which means he'll have the traction, and there just wasn't really anywhere for Josh to go. He couldn't quite make that move, and Poe's looking having a look up the inside as we head into the final corner. Nowhere for him to go though. It's not a major braking zone, so there's no way you can really put the car. Here they come then down the main straight. On lap 6 then you can see Josh is just trying to use that slipstream, and is he going to try and make a move in towards turn 2? He's thinking about it. He's trying to put the car up the inside. Squeezy will know he's there as they try and go around the outside. Josh, as it looks like, will he try and get the better traction, the better grip out of the corner? He can't quite do it. And Squeezy holds on to the lead of the race, but they're both under pressure from Poe now. Here comes all three of them in towards turn 6. Squeezy trying to defend up the inside. Josh just about can't hold on, or he can't get ahead. So he's really struggling at the moment to find a way past Squeezy. Can't quite do it, but still, we're only 6 laps into this race. Plenty of action still to be had, and that's really again Lambo. Poe tried to move up the inside, backed out of it. Wasn't going to happen. Those half-hearted attempts could be more dangerous than making the moves themselves, as Poe looks to try and gain a position. Josh, though, meanwhile, tries to take a compromised line. A little bit of a tap from Poe there behind will have unsettled Josh's car. Wouldn't have appreciated that. But as they fly through turn 13, you can see Josh had much better grip then. And you can see he's got a better exit into the slipstream. He'll have the DRS. Squeezy will have to defend without it as we head towards the hairpin once again. Watch out for Lambo behind them. He'll be ready to take advantage of any mistake these guys make. Here comes Josh then down towards the braking zone. Lambo looks like he overcooked it there, but actually braked just about in time. Josh then still trying to get past Squeezy, but the 4 of them remain as you were for another lap. As you can see there, Squeezy didn't look like he'd take a great line into the final corner there. They're still trying to battle these 4 as we head down towards turn 1 for the 7th time in this race. Here comes Josh trying to go around the outside. Didn't quite work. Little bit of contact there. I think he got away without damage. But here comes Poe up the inside. He's going to try and go up the inside of both of them, is he? No, not quite. Just couldn't make the move. He's going to try and stick it around the outside there. Josh gave him the room, but lost the back end slightly. And again, Lambo is just looking on and hoping that someone up ahead makes a mistake and he can get past. Poe then trying to go up the inside of Josh as we head towards turn 6. Not a great camera angle to look at. That's a better one. As we now head towards turn 7 and turn 8. Josh trying to hold the inside line. It might turn into the outside line for Poe, but he can't quite do it. Couldn't keep it up the inside there, and Josh defends successfully for another lap. Poe then meanwhile is under massive pressure now from Lambo. And Lambo here wanting to take some crucial points. He's only had 1 point this season, remember, so he'll be looking to try and add to that, especially after this race then. Squeezy still leading the way though, with Josh in P2, Poe in P3, Lambo in P4. That is the top 4, and they're all fighting hard. Oh, well, that was Poe losing the back end there. Just about kept it in check then, as Lambo will have seen that opportunity, and you can see he's closing. Lambo is closing on Poe as Poe gets onto the grass. That's not going to help him at all. Then as we head towards turn 14, this could be a position for Lambo. Then he's going to try and make it round the outside, and he's going to get, oh, he's just about on track then. That's Poe leaving him just about enough room then, and Lambo couldn't quite make the move stick. And we've got an instant there behind. That is the Gort, is it? Oh, the Gort reverse straight into Ollie P. Or the other Ollie, sorry. He went straight into him, reversed straight back onto the track. And he's got himself a 5-second stop go. I wonder how bad that damage is for Ollie then. As, well, I don't know if the Gort thought he was going to ghost there, but either way, he's caused that collision. Here comes Litinho up the inside, and the Gort has actually retired from the session. As here comes Litinho then trying to get up the gears and try and reduce the wheel spin. He's battling away with Sean then. As, oh, sorry, he's battling away with Siege. My apologies. But here comes Blizzard then, trying to go up the inside of Sean then. He's got to make this move again, and he has made that move. He's now up to P8, and now he's got to try and see what this battle between Litinho and Siege is going to be like. Obviously, Litinho's teammate Squeezy leading the race on lap number 8, and we've got yellow flags in sector 1. We'll have to wait and see. Well, they're gone now, so I think that was just the Gort's AI car pulling over to the side, so that's what that yellow flag would have been then. Blizzard still trying to close in on Litinho then, as we make our way round turn 12 and then through turn 13, as that is Litinho running a little bit wide and Blizzard taking full advantage and getting that position up. He now is in P7. Here comes Josh then down the inside in towards turn 14, and Josh, has he finally got the position? Well, Squeezy got a much better exit out of turn 14. Here they come then towards turn 16 now, and Josh, I think, just about holds on to the race lead, loses that back end very slightly, but I think Josh has the race lead. Here comes Squeezy then with the DRS. You can see him now trying to go around the outside as we head towards turn 1. It will become the inside line for turn 3, sorry, if you can make it stick. And no, he couldn't quite do it. Makes a cutback now on the entrance into turn 3. Try and give himself a better line, but didn't quite work. As, well, Josh then takes the lead of the race, and Squeezy drops down to 2nd. So how crucial that will be for Josh. He'll want to try and move and get away from that pack. I wonder if he can do it though, because Squeezy, sorry. I'm getting my names all mixed up today. I'm not having a good day in this commentary box. It's because I was focusing on Blizzard. He's now up into P6, trying to chase down Spike. Now, Spike hasn't got enough coverage this race, so we're going to watch him for a couple of seconds. Hope this helps, Spike. I know you don't get a lot of coverage, but you're currently P5, so at the moment 3.3 off the battle for the lead. So if he can just keep his cool, he's just looking after his tyres. Obviously, he's on the, I believe he's on a pad. A controller in other terms, so he is struggling with that tyre wear by default. So he's just trying to look after the tyres. He says he races to a delta, so he's got to stick to that delta as much as possible so that he can have a chance of making those tyres last. Here comes Josh then down in towards the hairpin, and you can see here the battle for the lead is still on his tail. Squeezy, Poe and Lambo doing their best to stay behind and stick with Josh as he makes his way through the final corner to start lap 10 of this Grand Prix. Sean here is looking to try and get on the back of Litinho. Can't quite do it. We've got Ollie P currently down in P11. Of course, he is basically on a 2-stop right now. Clifford in P12 had to stop, so he's already stopped to make his medium stint. I think that's a little bit early, but if you can make them last, that's fair enough. Mays, of course, pitted in after his incident with Jay losing the back end there, coming around at turn 13. Nothing he could do, and Mays was just an innocent victim in that one. Clifford then sets the fast lap of the race, 1:35.1. And so much for looking after those tyres, but he's on a mission now, is Clifford, and he's looking to try and close up any gap ahead of him. Let's have a look at Blizzard then, as he looks to try and close in on Spike, and actually is closing in on Spike. Remember, Blizzard is on a wheel, so he's not going to be suffering from the same tyre temperatures as Spike will be. So that is something to bear in mind. Spike often saying he has to stick to a delta, and he often says that there's no point battling someone behind if they're much, much quicker than you, because it's just going to slow down your race. He says he wants to battle, but if he doesn't have to battle, he won't want to. Here comes Blizzard then, in the Force India, and I don't think Spike is going to let this battle go on for too long then, as he makes his way around the final corner then. Lambo then coming around the final corner. He is Oh, that's Litinho grabbing a 3-second time penalty. That will be added to the end of his race. That is for... Oh, sorry, it's a 5-second stop go. My apologies. As he looks to try and... recover from that one. We've got Sean then moving up the grid because we've got Spike and Litinho in the pits, and they are looking to switch onto the medium tyres now, I believe. So that is going to be their one and only stop in the race. Spike comes in, on go a set of mediums, and away he goes. Litinho has to serve that 5-second stop go for exceeding track limits. And then the team can work on the car. There they go. On go the medium tyres for Litinho, and away he goes. So that's his one and only stop, and it would have been frustrating for him to stay there, stationary for 5 seconds. Can't do anything about it. Has to let it go. And, that's that then. He can get on with his race now. It won't be added to the end of his race time. So at least he can have that wiped off him now. So Josh is leading, Squeezy in second, Poe is in third, Lambo fourth, Blizzard is in fifth place, Siege in sixth, Sean in seventh, Ollie is in eighth, Ollie P is in ninth, Spike in 10th, Clifford is 11th, Litinho 12th, Steph in 13th, Plaster is 14th, and Maze is in 15th. So then, with the DRS, then you can see the Haas there of Poe. It is starting to close in on Squeezy once again. Lambo has dropped back a slight touch. He's now 1.4 seconds behind this lead pack. And they're all coming into the pits then. Every one of them in at the same time. Josh, Squeezy, Poe and Lambo all into the pits then. So, they're all coming in for their stop then. Their one and only stop. That means then Blizzard is going to take the lead of the race. Remember, he started on those medium tyres. He'll be able to have those soft tyres for the end of the race. Here comes the Renault crew then, putting on a set of medium tyres. And I believe there's a bit of traffic in the pit lane then. No, it's just a little bit of lag there. So where do they all rejoin then? So Josh rejoins in front of Poe, Lambo and Squeezy. So Squeezy losing out in that one. And actually he might lose out a little bit more because there's Ollie going through. He is now up to P7 on a set of soft tyres. Of course he's going for the 2-stop because he won't be able to make those soft tyres last to the end. Blizzard then leads the way then from Sean and Ollie. They all still have to make their stops though. So Josh is in 4th place, and if we see behind the leader then, we'll be able to see... Oh, my voice is not playing ball today, is it? We're able to see then Josh 16.6 behind the race leader, and you can see there it is closing gradually, and we might be able to keep an eye on that as we head towards Blizzard's pit window then. So Ollie then has a chance of trying to get past Lambo and just trying to throw a wrench into the some of their plans, especially the top runners, as we see here Lambo just trying to close in on Poe, and Squeezy trying to do the same. Lambo trying to close in on Poe then. 1 second behind. And of course he did lose a little bit of time before the pit stop window opened. So he might have a little bit of issues here as Sean comes into the pits. He has done his stint on those soft tyres, so he's done with those. And he'll be on to a set of medium tyres. I do apologise for my voice. It's just not playing ball today. I don't know what's going on. But there we go. You can see 5 of them in the picture there. That is Poe, Lambo, Ollie, Squeezy and Spike. So Spike has rejoined then. He made the undercut and he's caught up to the back of Squeezy. He's made up 3 seconds there. So good for him then as he puts himself back into the running. But again, if he has to race to a delta, he's going to find it troubling, or he's going to find it difficult at least to make those tyres last, or at least keep them in a good temperature zone. Squeezy then on the back of Ollie, and Ollie on the aggressive 2-stop, remember, has to make sure that he stays ahead of as many cars as possible. Of course it's an aggressive strategy, so he's going to have to do a lot of overtaking in the final part of the race. But you can see Ollie then, Ollie P. There's 2 Ollies, I keep forgetting that. But Ollie P is having to do some defending here. As Squeezy's looking up the inside, going in towards turn 11. And it looks like he's got the move done. And he closes the door and moves ahead of Ollie then up into P6. Spike now has to try and make that move then. So for Ollie, this looks like the strategy's not going to work too well if he's going to be overtaken. I don't think Ollie's going to battle too hard with any of these runners. In fact, he doesn't. He actually turns his ERS battery all the way down, so he's not looking to battle these guys. And he's looking to just race to his own delta, to his own time, and go from there and see what he can do. So yeah, he's not racing them, racing his own race, and that's that for now then. Here's Plaster and Steph battling for position, and Plaster makes the cut back. That's a great move from Plaster then, going through turn 13, but it's not over yet because Steph has got an inside line as they come down the back straight. Then who's going to have the DRS? It looks like it's going to be Plaster as they head through the DRS zone now. Plaster will try and pull away now, and that Ferrari looks like it's just a little bit underpowered compared to other cars. As Steph still trying to make it up the inside, then takes the curb. It's going to help him with his turn and loses that back end slightly, and that looks like that's going to be Plaster's position done and done. He moves now up into P13. Good battling there with Steph, and I wonder if Steph can have a go back at him then as we head towards turn 1. He will have the DRS, of course, as we now head towards turn 1, then into turn 2. Riding on board with Steph as he looks to try and get that inside line, get a tighter line. But obviously with that tighter line you risk understeering there, and that's exactly what happened. So Steph had to back out of the move. Sean meanwhile is trying to close in on Clifford. This is for P10. And these two are the closest battles we have right now. We're just coming up to the halfway mark of this race. Blizzard still leads from Ollie and Josh. Of course, Blizzard and Ollie still have to stop in this race. Steph, meanwhile, still sticking on the back of Plaster at the moment. And I wonder if Steph can just hold on. Of course, he's on 12-lap-old soft tyres, so he's going to find it difficult to keep up with the pace and keep up with, well, the tyre wear. I was saying at the start, the abrasion of the track is always going to make it difficult. But I do wonder if Steph is just starting to feel the back end of those tyres now, the end of their life, as we see Steph just starting to drop back as we head towards the hairpin. Then you can see Steph 334 with DRS in the straight there, faster by about 4 kph than Plaster was, and Steph comes all the way in. So yeah, those tyres were at the end of their life. Looks like he's going to put on another set of soft tyres. That's going to take him to the end of the race then. And as he comes in, Mercedes crew are ready. What tyres do they go for? It looks like mediums actually. Yep, it's medium tyres for Steph then. And away he goes. So he wasn't comfortable with finishing the race on soft tyres. Didn't think he could make them last. So he's come in for a set of medium tyres. That will definitely get him to the end of the race. Sean here, battling away with Clifford for the last point of the race. And Sean here with a podium last time out. Currently fighting away for the last point at the moment. But all points are crucial, and Sean will be delighted with P5 in the championship at the moment. 16 points, so he's scored in both races so far. And Ollie comes into the pits then. He's done his stint on those medium tyres. He's done 15 laps on those tyres. So a good stint from him then. He's done over halfway on those tyres, which is exactly what he wanted to do. Now he's got to make those soft tyres last to the end of the race. On they go, and away he goes, I think. Yeah, just a little bit of lag. There we go. Off he goes. That's going to move Siege up into 8th place now, as Clifford and Sean move up the order now. So Ollie on those soft tyres is going to be able to have a little bit more pace. So maybe he's going to try and undercut on Blizzard then. And as you can see, Josh has closed the gap on Blizzard. It's now 13.3, the gap. Lap 16 of this Grand Prix. And Blizzard, the returning champ, is on his way to make this stint last as long as possible. Clifford and Sean, meanwhile, are having a battling out of turn 6, now through turn 7 and then through turn 8. Watch out for that dirty air. It's going to be crucial as you now head around turn 8, then through towards turns 9 and 10. And again, watch that curve on the outside on the exit of turn 9. It can spin the car around, and it's not what you want at all then. Here comes Clifford and Sean. Here they both come in towards 11 and 12. And then they're going to come through turn 13. And Blizzard, from the lead of the race, pits in. So to make his one and only pit stop, Blizzard is in. We're going to stay on board with this battle between Sean and Clifford. If we can get a good camera, that's a good one. And you can see then Clifford under pressure, goes defensive already. You can see now Sean is in that slipstream. Will he try and have a move up the inside? Yes, he will. Dives it up the inside, but has he overcooked it? No, he hasn't. Oh, no, yes, he did. He ran slightly wide, and Clifford could just take that position back from him. So a good battling between those two. Blizzard, meanwhile, moves up into P5, but there is Spike just missing out on jumping Blizzard in the pit stops there. Not quite working out then, and Spike down to P6. And there's Ollie, who's now managed to catch up to the back of Sean and Clifford here. So as you can see, it's working out well for them so far. For Ollie, I should say. But he's got to make those soft tyres work. He's got to be able to get them to the end of the race. That'll be his #1 priority right now. Those soft tyres can be quick, but they're only quick for a couple of laps. And then you have to focus on getting them to the end of the race. As you can see, Clifford, Sean and Ollie all close together. So that should be a good battle to watch over the next couple of laps then. Lap 17 of this Grand Prix, and Josh takes back the lead of the race. Poe is in second, Lambo in third, Squeezy's in fourth, Blizzard in fifth, Spike is in sixth, Siege in seventh, Clifford 8th, Sean in 9th, Ollie in 10th, Lightino in 11th, Ollie P in 12th, Plaster 13th, Steph in 14th, Maze is in 15th. We've lost the Gort through the menu quitting. Alan K and Jay retired through crash damage. Francis, not sure what happened to Francis, but it was involving a lap 1 incident. Here comes Ollie then, in the slipstream of Sean, as he makes his way down this long straight towards the hairpin. You can see Sean trying to defend early. Here comes Ollie, down the inside, and he's up the inside of Sean now. And he's got to give him the room on the exit, and he has done, but Sean just about stays ahead. He got the better exit out of turn 14 and stayed ahead into the entrance of turn 16 there. Couldn't quite make that work. Lightino picking up a 3-second time penalty. Here comes Ollie once again, going down the inside in towards turn 1. He's got the superior grip. He's on the better tyres. He should be able to hold that move, and yes, he does. Ollie then up into P9. Meanwhile, Blizzard and Squeezy battling for position. And Blizzard, going into turn 6, has got the move done. So Blizzard now up into P4. Now, can he make it back-to-back wins? At the moment, if we have a look at the gap to the leader, the gap is 7.5 seconds with 11 laps to go. Entirely possible, but again, it's worrying about making those tyres last to the end of the race. That's the main thing. That's the thing we've got to watch, whether they can make these tyres last. We've got blue flags there for somebody. Not entirely sure who, but there we go. Marshall's waving the blue flags, maybe for fun, who knows. Blizzard 1.7 now behind Lambo, up ahead. These two have been rivals for a long time, as we now head down towards turn 14. We're looking at Ollie then, who's trying to close the gap on Clifford. And that's a McLaren running wide there. That's Lightino. So struggling out there for grip, Lightino, on those medium tyres. Ollie, meanwhile, is he going to try a diving move? He thought about it, but no. Decided not to. And Sean, Sean's gone well late in the braking zone there. If I could get my words out, I could explain what was going on. But he overcooked it coming in towards turn 14. And, well, he took to the escape road immediately. Wasn't willing to try and take out anyone at all. Rather take out the braking board than anything else. So, yeah, overcooked it. Maybe a lack of concentration. Clifford comes in then. And this will be his second stop of the race, as he moves on towards the soft tyres. And I think he's gone away. Yes, he has. So where will he rejoin then? He's going to rejoin behind Ollie for sure. As we're going to ride on board with Blizzard, because right now these two are battling away for position with 10 laps to go. 9 and a bit if you're picky. Lambo trying to hold off Blizzard for as long as he possibly can then, as we head towards turn 11. Blizzard here will be waiting for that DRS zone as we now head towards turn 11 and 12. Sorry, now it's 11 and 12. Now coming in towards turn 13. You can see there Blizzard is just trying to avoid that dirty air for a little bit, as we now head onto the back straight. This long kilometre straight. Here we go then. Blizzard on Lambo with the DRS. This looks like it's going to be job done before it's even started. And Blizzard there up the inside, going down towards turn 14. Has the inside line, locks up a little bit. Can Lambo try a cutback here? Doesn't have the rear tyres to do it. So Blizzard then jumps up to third place. Last place on the podium right now for Blizzard, as he moves towards Poe now is his next target. 4.8 seconds, 9 laps to go. Litinho closing in on Sean here. And I wonder if Sean is just a little bit ruffled. He made that mistake going in towards turn 14. And Litinho now has closed the gap on Sean. Coming through the final corner, you can see Litinho there. That yellow fuel tank bar, that means that Litinho is running less fuel. So he's actually predicted to run out of fuel before the end of this race. He made a lovely move around the outside there of Sean into turn 1. And can he hold that position? Then Sean having a look up the inside, has to back out of it though. So Litinho takes P9 away from Sean. Yeah, that yellow fuel indicator means that the game predicts that Litinho is going to run out of fuel before the end of the race. So he has to do some fuel saving. He won't be able to make it to the race end on the fuel settings he has right now. Yellow flag sectors 2 and 3. There were green flags there before, so no, can't see who it was. Never mind then. Yellow flags now sector 3. I wonder if this is a car getting out of the way. But here comes Poe then. And Josh battling away for the lead. Look how much later Poe brake there in towards turn 14. He just couldn't quite make that move stick then. As we now head towards turn 16. No, couldn't quite make that move stick. Very late on the brakes was Poe there. He almost made that work, but not quite. As Steph is into the pits then. Here comes Poe then. Trying to go up the inside, dummies, and goes around the outside. Can he make the move stick though? Josh has just about held it up the inside and has shut the door, but he's left the door open to go up the inside of turn 2. Now around the outside of turn 3. Poe's going to have to do a lot of attacking here if he's going to try and make that move stick. Didn't quite make it work though. And Poe in the slipstream now. You can see flickering that yellow fuel light. He's going to try and go up the inside of turn 6. Josh has left the door open. He knows he's there. Oh, and Poe lost the back end on the exit. Couldn't quite keep the power down, and he's lost that time, and Josh just about stays ahead then. But their battling is reeling in Blizzard. 3.5 seconds, 3.4 now. So they've got to be careful so they don't allow Blizzard to join the attack and join this battle for the lead. Sean then, meanwhile, is still trying to have a go back at Litinho. Sean made that mistake earlier on in the race. There's Steph getting out of the way, so that's what the yellow flag will be in Sector 2. A little bit strange that one, that it throws a yellow flag when someone's trying to let back front runners through, but never mind. But Sean here still trying to get past Litinho. Of course, Litinho made that move round the outside of turn 1, but Poe once again loves to be late on the brakes. This time he can't be as late because Josh has positioned his car so that he can't make a diving move up the inside. And with 7 laps to go now when they cross the line, we're coming into the closing stages of the Chinese Grand Prix. Josh leads then with 7 laps to go. Poe is in 2nd, Blizzard 3rd, Lambo in 4th, Squeezy 5th, Spike 6th, Siege is in 7th, Ollie is in 8th, Litinho 9th, Sean in 10th, Ollie in 11th, that's Ollie P in 11th, Clifford in 12th, Plaster 13th, Mays in 14th, and Steph is in P15. Yellow flags now in Sector 3. Don't know who that could be. But we're still looking at the lead battle here. We've also got to watch out for Sean and Litinho because this battle looks like it might last to the end of the race. Sean is right on Litinho's tail here. And we'll have to wait and see what Sean can do, whether he can close the gap, whether he's able to find a way past. But you can see Blizzard is closing in that gap, and he's closing it in quickly. By the end of this race, he will have caught up to those two at the front. So they've got to be careful about how they battle. Do they wait for Blizzard to join them before they start to attack? Or will Poe think he's got to get past as quickly as possible? Interesting, when you're under pressure, you know the gap's closing behind you. You know you've got to get past, so you might try and battle. The only problem with that is you're then losing even more time to the car behind, and you may not necessarily be getting past the car in front. It's a real dilemma. But if I know Poe, he'll be wanting to go for this race win against Josh here, coming in towards turn 14, once again into that hairpin, braking late. And you can see there Josh just about staying ahead, coming around the final corner. We'll now have 6 laps to go here at the Chinese Grand Prix, and Josh is doing his very best to just stay ahead. Blizzard is 3 seconds behind Josh. We'll have a look on board once again with Sean and Lightinho as they're heading down towards the hairpin of turn 14. Here comes Sean down the inside. They make a little bit of contact there as Lightinho just tried to close the door. Now Sean's trying to close the door around the outside, and Lightinho loses that position. Sean moves up to P9, and the two of them, well, they're going to be battling hard for the last couple of laps, that's for sure. And Lightinho is not going to take that line down. Here we go then towards turn 1. He's now going to try and go around the outside, going into turn 1. And is Sean going to try and close the door? He's staying up the inside. Does he try and go wide to try and cut him off? A little bit, but not too much actually. But Lightinho trying to now go up the inside of Sean. Little bit of contact there. He has to back out of that one. And Sean there would have felt that tap from Lightinho. I wonder if he's got damage, Lightinho, on that front wing. But he wants to find that way past. Couldn't quite do it though. And stays behind for now then. Josh then leading the way by 0.6 of a second as we round turn 13 for the 23rd time in this race then. Poe once again with the DRS for the umpteenth time, chasing down Josh. And in that slipstream he goes, moves over to try and keep in that slipstream. He'll now move to the inside now. Poe trying to go late on the brakes, as late as he dares, going up the inside. But again, he just can't get the power down in order to get that move done. But he's a lot closer than he was before, a couple of laps ago. And you can see there, Blizzard 3.1 seconds the gap. So Blizzard didn't have a clean lap there. So he's able to... Oh, sorry, that's to the leader, isn't it? So he has actually closed the gap. It just looks like he hasn't. But here comes Poe, still trying to close in on the leader then. Still trying to go up the inside. He lost the back end slightly. Josh saw the red arrow, saw he had to get out of the way, and still keeps a hold of this race lead. Poe is doing everything he possibly can to try and get past. Here we go then. Poe is going to try and move up the inside in towards turn 6. And will Josh be able to get the outside line? No, he can't. He goes off track. Loses that back end very slightly. Keeps in control of the car though. And Poe takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix with 4 and a bit laps to go. And Blizzard is closing in on these two lap after lap after lap. Sector time after sector time. He's able to close that gap even more. And you can see now these two, I think Poe has about a half-second gap now to the car behind. I wonder if he's able to pull away. What's Josh going to be like in the DRS zone, I wonder? And as we head around turn 13, well, we're about to find out. Have a look at Josh though, his DRS battery, he's able to turn that up now. And you can see now he's turned it up to overtake mode. Into the DRS he goes. And you can see there, Poe only has around about 6% of battery left, and it's falling. You can see now he's lost out of battery, and Josh looking up the inside. Can he try and make the move? He cuts the track, gets a 5-second stop go. Oh, that'll be hugely frustrating for him. He just wanted to try and make the cutback work. Now he's got 5 seconds worth of penalties to add to that. Disaster for Josh. And he might lose out on a podium even if he's not careful. Here comes Josh then. Now the need to get past is more than ever. He tries down the inside going into turn 1. Josh still got the inside line. Poe is going to try and take the outside line, which will turn to the inside line for turn 2. Or turn 3, sorry. He's still got the inside line, and Josh has the traction to pull away, and Josh retakes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. But with that 5-second stop go, that's going to be added to the end of his race. I wonder if Poe is going to be told by his engineer whether Josh has a penalty, because at the moment Poe has no need to battle him right now. He can let him go. Ollie, meanwhile, is closing in on Siege. Meanwhile, we've got the battle between Sean and Lightinho. Part 86, isn't it, by now? Here comes Sean then, still trying to make a move on Lightinho. And is that Ollie P in a mix-up? No, it's not. I think it was just back markers getting out of the way. But meanwhile, Ollie, makes contact with Clifford on the back there. Just unsettles Clifford's car, but he backs out of a move then. And Lightinho and Sean battling away so hard right now that no one else is in sight. It's just those two. They're in a race of their own at the moment, and they're able to fight to their heart's content. Meanwhile, though, Josh and Poe battling it out. Actually, Josh is still about a half-second up the road, but you can see there is Blizzard. With when they cross the line, will be 3 laps to go. So he's caught up to them with 3 laps to go, and any moment now he's going to have that DRS. And that's going to make him close up even more. I wonder if Blizzard... Well, he could have second place here. Lambo could actually go onto the podium if he plays his cards right. He's got to close that gap even more, though. But you can see here Poe battling away with Josh. Oh, Josh hits a bump there and lost that back end. And that's going to invite Poe to invite even more pressure on Josh here. You can see that Josh is pushing as hard as he possibly can. Just can't quite do it though. And we wait for the cars to come into the shot. There they are. And Poe right on the tail of the Renault here of Josh. Blizzard just biding his time to see if he can try and find a way past. Lambo, meanwhile, is 3.3 behind Blizzard. But at the moment, he doesn't really have to do a lot to see if he can grab a podium. He just has to hope that the others battle ahead. Meanwhile then, Sean and Lightinho still battling away for position then as they head in towards turn 3. And Lightinho gives Sean the room then. But he might have the better traction. Who is going to have the better traction as they head out of turn 4 then? Through the kink of turn 5, Lightinho has the track position for now. Sean trying to go up the inside now in towards turn 6. Lunges the car down the inside and gets the position once again. Lightinho, though, will be, well... There was a little bit of contact made there, but he's got to try and find that way past once again. I wonder if either of them have damage, because Lightinho took a compromised line going into those sets of corners there. Josh, meanwhile, still managing to hold on from Poe and Blizzard at the moment. But these two are going to be battling away, or these three, I should say, are going to be battling away for the rest of the race now. Josh will cross the line, 2 laps to go of the Chinese Grand Prix, and these three are going to be battling to the end now, I'm going to say. You've got Josh and Poe on medium tyres, Blizzard on soft tyres. They know as soon as Blizzard gets in front of them, that's it. That could be game over for the both of them. So they've got to keep their wits about them. Josh still leading the way from Poe and Blizzard. Lambo is in 4th, 3.6 behind Blizzard. At the moment, he's not going to be able to get that podium because the gap to the leader is 5.1. He's just outside that bubble of getting a podium. He needs that 10th of a second if he wants to finish on the podium. He's on medium tyres. He's going to struggle with that, but he'll be hoping that these three start battling soon, and he'll be able to snatch that last podium position off of Josh then. At the moment then, Josh is going to be down to P3, but look at this, he's opened up a second gap from himself and Blizzard here might have a chance of getting past Poe then, as we head towards turn 11, then through turns 12 and 13. And you'll see here Blizzard will have much more grip through turn 13. He'll be able to keep that throttle in. And you can see there Poe was hesitant on the throttle then. And here comes Blizzard with the DRS. Not even with DRS yet, he's side by side. Now he opens that DRS down the long straight. And you can see then Poe tucks into that slipstream to see if he can try and have a move down the inside. Blizzard defends the inside line, puts his car in the middle of the track. Great defending from Blizzard. He's now up to P2. And in a chance now to win this race with Josh's 5-second stop-go penalty. He'll be able to jump him there. So final lap of the race then. Josh will start the final lap of the race in the lead. Where will he finish it? Blizzard then moves up to P2. Poe will be in P3 at the moment, but he's got to try and get past Blizzard once again. Oh, taps the rear there, and that unsettled Blizzard's car. You could see that. And Poe there so hard he's battling here. Let's see what the gap to the leader is. Lambo 5.3 seconds behind Josh. So Josh might just about scrape away with a podium at the moment. We're seeing Blizzard and Poe battling it out. Poe wanted to go down the inside there in towards turn 6. Didn't quite happen. And I think at this point now Blizzard is able to just pull away. We've also got Ollie and Siege. I'll keep an eye on that battle. Sean and Lightinho still going strong in this race as they start their final lap. That's a battle for 9th place. Josh, meanwhile, is heading towards the final few corners. 1.9 seconds is the gap between him and Blizzard, and, well, unless something major happens towards the end of this race, I can't see that gap getting any bigger. In fact, if anything, it's going to get smaller as we head through the final few corners. Josh then down the back straight for the final time, and he'll be immensely frustrated with that 5-second stop-go penalty that he got at this hairpin coming up at turn 14. He's driven such a good race, but he's going to have this win taken away from him then as we head through turn 15 towards the final corner of turn 16. He's had a brilliant race, brilliant defending, brilliant battle with Poe, but it's not going to be enough. Josh will cross the line in first place, but Blizzard, is he going to take the race win? Yes, he does! Blizzard makes it 2 in a row as he wins the Chinese Grand Prix. Po second, Josh in third, Lambo missing out on the podium by 0.3 of a second there, finishing in fourth. Squeezy there finishing in P5 as Spike makes his way around the final corner. He's going to finish in 6th place, and keeping to Delta was always going to be difficult for Spike, especially on a controller there. Siege crosses the line, he finishes in 7th. Ollie then is going to come across the line, he's going to finish in 8th as Sean then fending around the final corner. He's going to cross the line in P9, and Litinho will cross the line in P10. Clifford then in the Forcinia, just missing out on crucial points then. Ollie P in 12th with a 3-second time penalty to add to his troubles, as Plaster is done 23 laps on those medium tyres. Wow, what a stint from Plaster. And we're going to ride on board with him as he battles with Steph here. These two are a lap apart from each other, but that's not going to stop them from having a little bit of a battle as we head towards the final couple of corners. And look, Plaster, no, I don't think he's going to do it. He's realised it's not worth it just to finish the race in P13 then. So Steph is going to finish a lap down in P15, Mays in P14. So, your winner of the Chinese Grand Prix, making it 2 wins in a row, it's Blizzard. So then, there's your top 3 on the podium. It's been a good day for Blizzard. Minus the qualifying, of course. We crashed out. He came back to win the race. Congratulations to Blizzard. He's made it 2 in a row. So then, as we wait then for the official, unofficial results of round 3 of the Chinese Grand Prix, Blizzard wins the race then from Po and Josh. Then it's Lambo in P4, Squeezy in 5th, Spike in 6th, Siege in 7th, Ollie in 8th, Sean is in 9th, Litinho in 10th, Clifford 11th, Ollie is in 12th, Ollie P that is in 12th, Plaster in 13th, Mays in 14th, Steph in 15th. The Gorts, Alan K, Jay and Francis all did not finish this race today. Well, the Chinese Grand Prix then means that Blizzard has extended his lead at the top of the championship by quite some distance as well, with Squeezy finishing down in P5, Jay not finishing the race, Po finishing in P2. That gap has opened up quite significantly. It's more than 9 points now, that's for sure. But of course we will have a commentator's corner, which will be coming up in a separate stream. My voice cracks really added to the commentary today. I really don't know what happened. Oh well, what are you going to do? Well, thank you very much for watching. This ends the race part of the stream. If you're joining us for Commentator's Corner, remember, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and you'll be able to know when we go live, exactly when, so that you can tune in and watch us then. If you're leaving us now, well, hopefully we'll see you again for Thursday at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at the Baku City Street Circuit, and always provides plenty of action, that track, and we hope to see you there. Hopefully I'll be joined by Andy on Thursday, so it won't be just be me in the commentary box, so that could be music to your ears, I guess. Don't forget then, Friday as well, TTFL, our very own Steph is a commentator for that one, so join him for that one at the same time, 8 PM GMT. And then of course we have TTL F2 at the Sunday, sorry, I've lost my words there. On Sundays, starting at 8 PM, 2 25% races in the night following the TTL F1 calendar. So that means on Sunday it will be the Chinese Grand Prix and the Azerbaijan Grand Prix on the same night, 25% races. Obviously, if you want to join the TTTV commentary team, please send us something. You can contact TTG Mays on Twitter and send him a message, and we'll hopefully get you on the team, and maybe you'll be in the commentary box. Who knows? But that's it for the race part of the stream. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we will see you in Commentator's Corner in a couple of minutes' time.